to the Stargate Finance Community Call, where we discuss proposals and ideas that will help shape and govern the Stargate protocol. Feel free to join the conversation on stage anytime, or if you have a question, by asking and the raise hand button at the bottom of the screen. You can also chime in through the voice text channel on Discord or any of the chats for those listening in through YouTube or Twitch, as these channels all aggregate in the messages together. Just a reminder, this is not financial, accounting, or legal advice. Please do your own research. Well, once again, this has been a very interesting past couple of weeks. With all the meltdowns going on, I sure hope everybody's doing okay. But yeah, let's catch up and look at some Stargate things. We've got, so just a recap here from, I guess, the past couple of weeks. We've got the ETH, USDD, and any new ERC20 pools. So those autonomous pool deployments. So any of those things, yeah, those are all in audit and hoping for the green light on Friday. So we should have ETH pools by Friday is the hope here. Everything sounds like it's ready to go. It's just a matter of, just if the audits are good, we can move forward with it. So, then as far as the, with any, like you were saying there, it's just going to be straightforward to deploy any new ERC20 after that as well, just with this new setup. So, that should be pretty sweet. So if anybody wants to bring in their own pool of liquidity, feel free to do that. So then Sushi Swap integration, it sounds like it's getting close, awaiting audits, and I think that's, it seems like it's good to go, but just, again, audits. So that seems to be a big one. That, and then, as far as the bribing, Maki, how are you? Maybe you can shed a little light here on the bribes and things.
Yes, so beginning of this week, we basically started to bribe again a little bit less. We're 100K on CRV right now and CVX holders. We basically locked all of our curve, and with Yearn. So basically, like we're gonna be earning the full amount for 3 CRV and so on, while taking a 10% haircut on our votes. They're basically like a liquid lockers because DAOs and so on need to be whitelisted to lock our own curve, which is Yearn, Stake DAO, and Convex are the only DAOs right now that we're able to do so. Even with Frax trying and so on, they weren't able. So that's kind of our solution there. They voted with all of our curve that has been earned so far since we tried this bribing. We are just shy of 1 point something million. I will try to get like the proper amount, but overall, like this is what we're looking for on the bribe side this week.
Awesome. Okay, that's great to hear that the updates on that, and it would be cool if we'll try and get like a monthly recap. So every second community call, we can do like maybe even like a further in-depth detail, deep dive into like where we're at with it and what's up. Just so people can have some further numbers and ideas around it. So I think that could be cool. Okay. Right after this call here at 10 o'clock, I guess 1700 UTC, Commonwealth community call is going to be happening. So I think if any of you noticed, George had posted that both in Discord and on Commonwealth, just looking to get some community participation and stuff like that. So if you want, there is a link. I think the link got updated here in Discord. And also in Commonwealth. So if you want to join that, check it out. Feel free to do so. Commonwealth obviously being, our this is our forum for governance, and I think I'm pretty stoked with how it's been working so far. And if you, if you're interested, hop into that. And they're just looking for feedback on the forum and the platform as a whole. So. And maybe some of you have also noticed that any new topics that get posted on Commonwealth will now populate in Discord under community updates. So in that channel, you'll be able to see any new proposals that are coming in or general discussion topics. So you can just monitor that if you're not always heading over to Commonwealth. And then as far as the CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap updates for the circulating supply, seems like I think CoinMarketCap has everything they need from us, and CoinGecko might have to build out a couple things there yet, or they might need a couple things. I'm not exactly sure. Max, do you know what's up with those? I think like CoinMarketCap is good to go, so they should be.
Well, it's actually up on CoinGecko right now.
Oh, it is.
CoinMarketCap, yeah. CoinMarketCap has everything they need. They're just working on implementing it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, never mind. So I know that's been a big when question for a while. So cool. Check that out. Now, as far as the proposals that have passed, obviously the big one, everyone has been, there's been a lot of chatter around this from the community about the value accrual for STG stakers. So obviously the snapshot has passed, and strong support for that. And so now anyone who is, the fee structure, I guess, is like just better way of looking at it is like the fee structure for the 6 bips. Now has the following breakdown with the LP fee, depending with the emissions flag. So whether if there's emissions, then the 1 basis point will go back to protocol and liquidity. If there's no emissions on that pool, then the LP will get 1 basis point. Partner fee for anybody that's integrating with the widget or composing Stargate, 0.3 basis points. And then veSTG holders will now receive 1 basis point. So, and this goes directly to the VE, or this affects the VE holders that have staked their STG. So it will not be inclusive of the community auction or team or investors or anything like that. So if you're interested, lock up your STG, and that will, you will now be receiving 1 basis point out of the transfer fee. And that started, I think the switch was, or the tracker, I guess, or however we're looking at this, that started yesterday at almost 22 hours ago, I think, or 20, a little over 20 hours ago or something like this. So I don't know if anybody's got questions on that or ideas of or what anything further they want to ask about it. Feel free. Of course, you can come up on stage or ask in the AMA text.
I think it's worth mentioning that there's going to be like a proper view in the UI at some point to watch all of this kind of unfold and the amount of reward accumulated and so on for stakers. I think that's good to mention potentially. Not sure of the ETA, but that is very important.
Yeah, so things will need to be built out, for the UI side. Just so people can monitor, see what's up, and I guess like all of the claiming and everything, all those contracts are still going to be need to be audited and and built out. But I think the main thing is that the fee flag, I guess, or the tracker is on now, so that rewards are accruing at this point. So I don't know, anybody with other will revenue be would be in the form of I guess whatever the assets being transferred, right? Because that's the fees on the whatever assets being transferred, correct?
I think we'll have to probably have more thought on this one. Maybe there might have to be another proposal on this, like a guideline in terms of how the fees are allocated. But yeah, I think I have some ideas. I mean, I think like in general, for protocol and liquidity, it would make sense for Stargate to have like some sort of guideline in terms of what assets they want to hold on a monthly basis, like a portfolio balance of percentage of stables or ETH or whatever tokens are supported, and then we can probably, I think it would make sense to have a proposal around how the payment, the fees are actually settled in what tokens as well. So I think more thought needs to go into this, but
Okay. Yeah.
definitely open to people's ideas around that.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, would love to hear from anyone on this. If you've got ideas around it, or put up if we get some proposals going, obviously can have some discussion around it. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else has anything further on it. Yeah, next up here with current the Optimism airdrop. That's the other one here. So that's for the OP tokens for that distribution. So that's snapshot on Optimism is currently live, and that ends June 22nd. So I think we're in the phase 0 batch vote, because there's a couple separate ones for other things, but in there, that is so it's like lumped in everybody that's a part of the OP token airdrop. So that's that doesn't end till the 22nd, and then after that the OP tokens will be available to Stargate. But contracts for the OP distribution are currently in the works and will undergo audits, and we'll keep you posted on that as we hear more on when those tokens become available to us. And then as far as the current proposals right now, so SIP number 9, the outstanding STG rewards on Optimism. So that's up on Commonwealth right now. So LPs who had staked on USDC or had staked USDC on Optimism were unable to claim the rewards as the STG emissions ended sooner than other chains. So these LPs need to be made whole and have their rewards made available to them. Outstanding STG will be given from the Treasury. So there was 52,000 or 52,740 STG. So that will be airdropped to affected users. So we do have a Google Sheet there as well. One of the community members had also provided their breakdown, and both had matched from the team side and on this side. So it's good to know that we've got the numbers are matching from other people, and it's great to see community members helping in here too. And that's one thing I really want to encourage here is that anybody that can do this on-chain stuff or wants to get involved, reach out, and we can we want to hear from you. So I really appreciate that community member doing and helping out with that. So with that one can go to Snapshot today. Then I think that's a positive one that people want to get those rewards claimed again. So then we've got the SIP number 10. Increase incentives for balancing transfers. This one here, we'll probably let Max take it away here. Just with the Stargate pools with the imbalance and how to make those transfers.
Yeah. Yep. This is basically making two key changes to just increase the incentive for balancing transfers. So, and then the goal of this, right, is to make sure that the pools are in balance, so we're giving the best price on transfers. The two things that would be changed are, one, the reward function. So currently the reward function is paying out on all transfers if a pool is in deficit, whether it's $1 transfer or $1 million transfer. So the reality is that this should really be supporting, the rewards really should be given out to transfers that are materially balancing the pools. But instead, what's actually happening is we're actually subsidizing some of the smaller, the cheaper transfers. So basically changing some logic in there so that only the significantly balancing transfers will be eligible to receive rewards. So that's one thing that's changing. And then the other thing that's changing is basically phasing out the baseline fee for significantly balancing transfers. And the thought here is that the protocol is really making a minimal amount of revenue on these transfers. And that makes sense, right? Because you're going from a pool that's in shortage to a pool that's in surplus. So basically the opposite way of where the demand is traveling. So why charge a fee for things that are actually good for the overall ecosystem? So I think, like, in summary, these two things will do a lot in terms of driving better incentives for people out there to complete balancing transfers, and overall, like, will drive a better price for Stargate transfers over time.
Cool. Yeah, I know you've been really active with like balancing and tools and pathways and all this stuff. So I really appreciate your analytical mind behind all this to guide us through these waters, because this is way over my head for trying to figure this stuff out. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else has questions for on this, or how this can best go in here. But I know you're staring at these numbers all day, so yeah, really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and if anyone has questions on this, yeah, happy to talk through that now, or feel free to DM me.
Yeah, if anybody has anything, feel free to come on up or raise your hand and we'll get you up on stage. But, yeah, I know this is another one here that can be this beneficial to the protocol, so that can go up on Snapshot as well today. But yeah, I don't know. Anybody else with further questions, comments, concerns on that? Okay. All right. Yeah. Then now I see a couple of people chatting about like rabbit hole and things like that, and that's going to tie in nicely here with this. This next proposal here, the SIP 11 for Stargate Foundation operating budget proposal. So this is a proposal to give an operating budget for the foundation for 6 months as kind of the original start here, and this will be used for audits and legal, accounting, and general business operations. So it would be removal of 600,000 worth of USDC and STG from the CRV pool. The idea there being that it's rather than pulling from the treasury, which is then needing to use the Stargate, this way here it's a 50-50. We've already got half of that is liquid already as USDC, and then this way we've got Stargate Foundation will have a an operating budget that can do things like, just as kind of mentioned here with the with rabbit hole and things like that. We would be able to like put up a proposal and say, hey, we want to put X amount towards rabbit hole to have this kind of a campaign going and whatnot, or putting quests on and things like this. It'll also allow for taking care of actually paying bills for any Web 2 services, and anybody that's contributing, like data analytics or analysts, or like other contributors that want to get involved. Be able to like build out like moderating teams and things like this. All this kind of stuff helps like fuel the ecosystem and helps like support what Stargate Finance needs to be. So I think this is a really good initiative, and going to help. I think it's going to help the community in a lot of ways too, because it'll allow for further engagement and allow people to to contribute, and there's actually like a budget to participate with. So I don't know if anybody has questions on that. Again, that's just like a 6-month budget, and see where it kind of goes from there. But hopefully that's okay. Yeah, and if anybody else has anything else they want to bring up here, I've kind of covered everything we need here for the day. But anybody have anything else they want to ask or bring up, or I don't know. I know there's just a lot of integrations that are hopefully going to be coming out here soon, and super stoked about the sushi one. yeah, just like I said, awaiting audits. That'll be really cool to try out. And yeah, we'll keep you posted, of course, on that. And yeah, Primo, they're asking for alpha.
I think there's someone.
Alpha.
I think there's someone requesting to speak. Tangle.
Oh, perfect. Here, Aesop.
Lots of alpha in the proposals, anyways. I think if you guys piece together slowly, kind of how everything is shifting from the reward functions getting better to the rebalancing incentives being better is going to drive like more volume overall. The VE Stargate, there's some alpha in the way things are trending for sure.
Perfect. Aesop. Hey,
Hello, can you hear me?
got you now.
Yeah, okay. So, given the market turbulence, so one of the things I was curious about is, I think as of right now, the stables can be traded or swapped 1-for-1 right now, for the most part. What would happen what's the contingency plan if, say, one of the stables depeg?
Yeah, so I think it's a great question. I think it's one of the underlying assumptions of the system is that the assets that are paired together are valued at 1-to-1 within the system, subject to the equilibrium fee of like the curve style sort of pricing fee at the bounds, right? So when you assign a weight in a pool to another asset, you are basically giving that asset, some amount of exposure to your underlying pool. So the LPs are basically taking some underlying risk of that asset rate, maintaining or staying near 1-to-1 for the reward on all sort of the pathways that are tied there, right? For all of these unified fees sort of at the weight that is there. That said, so when we add other pools, even of assets that are, potentially stable coins, so like USDD or, whatever this is, those will be 100% contained to their own pools. They'll basically just be an isolated token bridge for that asset. But for the USDC, USDT, and BUSD, which are all co-tied together right now, the underlying pool basically would eat the depeg rate. But that said, we have been proactively kind of looking into what we can do to circuit break this scenario. So to limit in that sort of outlier scenario, to limit that exposure as much as humanly possible. And right now, we just introduced something that basically, in the event of a depeg, should basically a system to circuit break the pools. So if USDT depegs, then all of the USDT pools basically will stop allowing swaps in and out until the peg is maintained, or it will be just frozen there. And so, basically there is a circuit breaker being worked on to be put in place if that were to happen. The other option is simply to unpair the pools, right? So to remove all weights to the other pool and just make it so USDC is only paired with USDC, USDT is only paired with USDT. The expense of that is clearly volume, right? So like much less useful generally for arbitrage, much less useful generally for like broad volume on a bunch of things. I think cross asset pairs right now are max, we'll have the exact number, but let's just say roughly like 20% of all volume. So it's not a dominant share, but it's still like a meaningful amount. And so, I think this is something absolutely that should be analyzed. Governance and LPs should have like a pretty strong say and what that looks like. And I think it's just, you're basically pricing risk. You're pricing a depeg for fees. And the question is whether or not that's, worth it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, in terms of, I guess I have two follow-up questions. Thanks for that answer. What would be the threshold you would be using to trigger to trigger the circuit break? And as far as the dev work or the work that's required to, for the circuit break, what kind of timelines are we talking about? Are we weeks or days, or trying to get a sense of that?
So I think we have an MVP already set up and working just as like a potential backstop. I think a longer term solution with 100% reliability and everything else might take some time. Right now, we basically There's basically like a crisis solution that's put in place as an MVP just for preparedness. And in terms of the numbers, I think that also should be looked at and analyzed. The current kind of working model is 98 cents for 30 minutes or 95 cents. I think those are like the two markers. If it's below 95 cents at all or below 98 cents for 30 minutes, it would introduce the circuit break.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
How do you feel about those numbers?
To be honest, I haven't looked at the numbers closely enough myself to figure out if it makes sense or not. But I'm assuming that if it gets to the 95 or 90 or even 98 cents, the algorithm has some ways of compensating the folks on the wrong side up to a certain point, I would assume.
Yeah, there's a fee as the pool gets drained, right?
I mean, the
going
further
in
it goes,
that direction, the fee gets.
The further it depegs, obviously that compensation won't work. But for the time being, at least within the controlled amount or range, it should have some level of compensation, like you said, the de-risking or the risking part of it. Yeah, I really don't. But it is reassuring to hear that you guys are thinking about this and there's something in play, because obviously everyone's thinking about these kind of things, and we're not living in a normal world from a crypto perspective.
100%.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Aesop. Yeah. Well, hopefully, that can be put into place, and just let's hope that we don't end up with depegging events any more of those. Yeah, I know UST was pretty rough on a lot of people. So let's just hope everything keeps pegged. But okay. Anybody else with any questions, comments, concerns? All right. Well, I think we can probably wrap it up here. But of course, if you have any further questions or anything, bring it into the Discord. Or check out all the proposals on Commonwealth, and of course we'll have it should be two snapshots should be up here later today, and get ready for ETH, USDD, and any other pools we want. The community wants to vote in. Those will be ready to go. Hopefully Friday, I guess, just waiting on audits. So that, and keep an eye out for the sushi stuff. That should be soon. Just again, also audits, and and then we'll keep you posted on the OP token distribution once that passes. So that's still another week yet for that vote on, and that's directly on Optimism's governance. But okay. Thank you for tuning in today. We'll be back here again in 2 weeks on the next community call. Check out the recording on YouTube later today, and stick around after the call for your POAP and how to claim it. But thanks, everyone. See you soon.